first experience of the event, and you've had a very all-round experience. Tell us about it so far.
Yes, thank you, Gemma. Absolutely sort of immersed ourselves into this experience at SPORTEL. First time, as you said, managed to go to the SPORTEL Awards, which were absolutely fascinating and amazing, seeing all these gold medalists from Team France and the Olympics. So really enjoying it. Actually, I go to these events with not that much expectations, because I think the sort of if you at the right place at the right time, you meet the right people and you develop a long-term relationship. And the whole purpose, I think, of coming to SPORTEL is exactly this year to build that long-term relationship and come over and over again, and hopefully even check out the rendezvous in Bali next year and some other places.
Well, it's obviously been a successful SPORTEL so far if you're already thinking about doing the others and building that long-term relationship. Tell us about your experience as part of the actual markets here.
So you're absolutely right. I mean, I just had a presentation in front of a nice, sort of decent audience. I had some people from Monaco University as well. They want me to come back and talk to their students on sort of sports tech side of the equation, and meeting some of the people that I was looking forward to meet here, and sort of starting to forge relationships, sort of medium to long term, has been really positive. And this is just the beginning, I think, of a long-term journey.
Can we talk NFTs and digitization, because there's a huge shift in the way things are going?
Yes, of course we can. I mean, we recently released some of the NFTs with one of our key partners, as a Partizan Belgrade has just gone back to the EuroLeague under the sort of premiership of the biggest European coach of all time. Željko Obradović won 9 EuroLeague titles. Imagine anyone in the football world winning 9 Champions League. It's almost impossible. So, we're great believers that because our ecosystem of block sport is from the Web3 fund engagement up to the non-speculative fund tokens to the NFTs, it's very important that the clubs, leagues and federations understand that NFTs should really be underpinned by the physical sort of goods. So our NFTs have been recently released, have got the jerseys and the signatures of the teams and the actual coaches on those. And NFTs is something that is very hard to predict. I think we've all heard about good and bad and ugly when in the whole market. We've heard that the crypto market collapsed, so hence the fund tokens on the speculative side lost 95 to 99% of their value. We are great believers that with the right education and the long-term vision and strategy of the clubs, NFTs are here to stay and to create some serious revenues, but more importantly, actually provide a fun engagement. Because if you think about, Gemma, during the pandemic times, the stadiums and arenas were totally empty, and the clubs and sporting properties had to find another way to engage. NFTs have been around since 2014 in the art industry. I think the sport industry is very slow in adapting it, purely because it lacks the educational component, and we really want to get into the role of the educator, facilitator and enabler, and the long-term partner of everyone we work with.
There's a load of things going through my mind as you're talking about this tokenization, and one thing is first of all, how do you make tokenization successful? What can you do to guarantee the success?
Well, you should know in business there's no success guarantee. So anyone who's saying it's going to work 100%, they're lying or they're trying to con you. So, but the key point there is really to bring it in layman terms to those that actually operate and own clubs. I mean, I said in my presentation, I've been blessed to have been supported by the senior management of Blocksport and investors to redefine a sports industry pyramid where funds go on the top, these club owners and facilitators and operators in the middle, and us as the blockchain technology partners at the bottom. And if you take that level of responsibility, which I often say that football club sporting properties are not your typical commercial businesses. They're actually more like social enterprises because they've been around 100, 150 years. Fans live and die for those clubs. Whether the club gets relegated or promoted, wins the Champions League or the sort of national title, they're there. I mean, look at the example of Glasgow Rangers. These guys went bankrupt 10 years ago. Last year they won their sort of Scottish Premier League. So the key thing is education. The key thing is to actually say that, this is not rocket science. We're not expecting you to be tech developers. We're expecting you to fully understand how you use this technology to improve your fan engagement, to give your fans money count by experience, and also create new revenues, which are absolutely important.
And I guess it's all part of keeping up with the demand of the fan that has changed so dramatically recently.
Of course, and you look at digital natives. I mean, I think your and my kids are sort of in probably different ball game when it comes down to smartphones than our generation. You know, I'm sort of somebody who understands both, purely because I surround myself by those late teens and early 20s. They're coming out of some of the best universities in London and around the world, who have lived and breathed that kind of digital era and digital world, and learning from them and being able to offer some advice and experience that I have is a win-win. And I think the clubs have got to do the same thing, and that's why their digital and marketing departments ought to really have youngsters driving those, and those that actually sit on the board in the sort of senior management positions have got to understand the younger their digital and marketing departments are, the more revenues and better engagement they'll create.
Yeah, Gen Z certainly seem to be key, don't they?
Absolutely.
If I asked you to sum up SPORTEL in just one or two words, what would you say?
Amazing and visionary.
Thank you very much.